I woke up to a sound I hadn't heard in years, the rhythmic beep of a monitor. My chest felt heavy, my throat dry. A woman's voice called out, "Doctor, he's awake!" When my eyes opened, I expected darkness, but instead I saw white lights and unfamiliar faces. A nurse smiled. "Welcome back, sir. You've been in a coma for 9 months." 9 months? The doctor entered, adjusting his glasses. "You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Daniel. Car accident. Severe head trauma." But that name, Daniel, that wasn't my name. I tried to speak. "My name isn't Daniel, it's Mark. Mark Turner." Everyone looked at each other, uneasy. The doctor said softly, "No, sir. You're Daniel Hayes. Please rest." But I remembered everything. My house near Lakewood, my wife Emma, our little daughter Lily. I remembered the smell of pancakes every Sunday morning. Yet, when I asked for them, they said those people didn't exist. Days passed. Every night I dreamt of a life. Not blurry dreams, but crystal clear memories. Emma's laughter, Lily's drawings taped to the fridge, the sound of rain on our porch roof. But my supposed family, a woman named Grace and a teenage boy, visited daily. They looked heartbroken when I didn't recognize them. Grace whispered, "Please, Daniel, you're scaring me." I stared at her, her eyes full of tears. "I'm sorry, I don't know you." Doctors said I had post-coma memory confusion, but it didn't feel like confusion. It felt like truth. One afternoon, I asked for a pen. On the hospital pad, I drew my house, every detail: blue shutters, wooden fence, mailbox with number 47B. When Grace saw it, she turned pale. "That's the house you grew up in, Daniel. It burned down when you were 12. But no, I was sure I'd lived there recently, as an adult with Emma and Lily. Then I found something. A scar on my hand that I didn't have before. And inside my hospital drawer, a photo. A picture of me with Grace and the boy. But my face looked older, different. I began to doubt everything, even my reflection. Once I was discharged, I couldn't stay home. Grace's house felt wrong. Every corner whispered someone else's life. At night, I heard a little girl's laughter in my dreams, Lily's. She'd say, "Daddy, come home." So I followed the trail. I searched Lakewood Street, where my supposed home had been. It existed. The same blue shutters, the same number 47B. A woman opened the door. I froze. It was Emma. She looked at me, shocked, trembling. "Can I help you?" My voice cracked. "Emma, it's me, Mark." Her eyes filled with fear. "Who are you? My husband's name was Mark Turner. He died in a car crash 2 years ago." Behind her, a little girl peeked out, Lily's, the same face from my memories. My heart stopped. I sat in my car for hours. The news article came up on my phone. Local man Mark Turner dies in head-on collision. Wife and daughter survive. His photo stared back at me. My face. Same eyes. Same scar. I went to my doctor, desperate. "How can this be? Am I him?" The psychiatrist studied my scans. There are rare cases where the brain, after trauma, creates crossover memories, borrowed identities. But he hesitated. These memories are too detailed to be fabricated. I started recording everything, my thoughts, dreams, dates. That night, Grace confronted me, sobbing. "You keep calling out Emma's name in your sleep. Do you even remember us?" I broke down. I don't know who I am anymore. For days, I lived between two worlds, one where Grace was my wife, one where Emma was. Reality began to crumble. I returned to Lakewood. I returned to Lakewood. I stood outside Emma's house in the rain. Through the window, I saw Lily drawing at the table. Suddenly, Emma stepped out onto the porch. "Why are you following us?" she cried. "Please, stop pretending to be him." I whispered, "I'm not pretending." She hesitated. Her eyes softened. "You sound just like him." She reached for my face, trembling. "But you can't be." I left a letter in her mailbox that night, describing our wedding day, the name of our first dog, the lullaby I sang to Lily, details no one else could know. 2 days later, I got a call from an unknown number. Emma's voice whispered, "Who are you?" "I don't know. Maybe I'm what's left of him." Weeks later, I underwent a deeper neurological test. The doctor looked disturbed. "Your brain shows overlapping neural patterns, 2 sets of memories. It's like someone else's life was imprinted onto yours." I asked, "So, am I Daniel or Mark?" He sighed. "Maybe both." That night, I visited Emma one last time. She stood on the porch, tears in her eyes. "I read your letter," she said quietly. "Everything you wrote, only Mark could know." I whispered, "Then maybe I'm what his mind became when his body died?" She looked at me for a long time. "Maybe God gave me one more chance to say goodbye." Lily ran outside, holding a small drawing. "Daddy, this is you in heaven!" I knelt down, tears streaming. "That's beautiful, sweetheart." When I looked back up, Emma was gone. Only the wind moved the curtains. The next morning, Grace found me sitting on the porch, staring at the sunrise. I told her softly, "Maybe my mind betrayed me, or maybe it remembered a life my soul couldn't forget." Sometimes, the scariest thing isn't losing your mind. It's realizing it remembers something your body never lived.